Okay, can we just celebrate for a second? For the first time in the last 4 months, I'm not wearing a sweatshirt. It's not because like the temperature warmed up outside or anything. It's just because I had to run up and down the stairs like 4 or 5 times before filming this, and now I'm sweaty. So story time over. Let's get into the box. I feel like it's been a while since I've opened a ArtSnacks Plus box. So let's dig into this one and see what we find. Also, I haven't been to the post office in a while, so I think this is the January box. If that bothers you, you're free to leave. Ew, trippy. So this is some Legion bamboo paper. They always really fit these in. Oh, that's a lot of paper. It's only 15 sheets. Oh, dang. This is the Legion Bamboo eco-friendly tree-free surface with a luxurious texture. Well, I'm not really familiar with luxury, but if that's it, cool. Works well for all printmaking techniques, dry media, and light washes. Pen and ink, pastel, calligraphy, printmaking. So it kind of gives me a watercolor vibe, but it specifically doesn't say watercolor. So I'm excited to see what kind of art supplies they chose for this paper. To find out, we'll have to look inside our little Ziploc bag. We have our 2 menus listing the ArtSnacks Plus exclusives as well as the ArtSnacks. And then for the art supplies, we have, ooh, this is a pack of 5 ShinHan touch liners. There is a 0.3, I got ahead of myself, a 0.1, a 0.3, a 0.5, a chisel, and a brush. And apparently they're in the color cool gray. I don't think I've ever used like a gray liner. It does worry me a little that like they're gonna be kind of faint. Like if they're too pastel, what will they be good for? I mean, I'm sure there's great things that they can accomplish, but I'm just saying. So on the little ends, they actually have a little code. They say the size there, and then chisel has a C and B has brush. So that is the brush nib. Definitely looks flexible to me. Okay, it's much more, it's like a stiff flexible brush, which I do prefer them on the stiffer side. And then the chisel looks like that. It doesn't say what size that is, but it's pretty big for a fine liner. And then you can like turn it this way and get here. Wow, we'll swatch those in a minute. Let's see what else is in here. It looks like there might be some more fine liners. Oh wait, no. This is the Kuretake brush pen, I believe. I think I've gotten one of these, like years back. It feels familiar. It doesn't say it's like any color other than black, so I'm just gonna go ahead and assume. Also, if that's the brush, it looks like it's a much more thicker nib. Not thicker, stiffer nib than what I thought. And look at that beautiful design on the handle. It's got a very like cardboard feel. And it has your little what do you call it? Handle? It's got a piece of string so you can hook it on things. The Kuretake-Zig Bimoji Fude pen. Bimoji means beautiful letters in Japanese. Oh, that's Japanese, and I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. It wouldn't be Bimoji, would it? No, I think it'd be Bimoji. Anyway, this brush pen was made for lettering. So that, along with the paper, are the 2 ArtSnacks Plus exclusive items, and the rest is from the ArtSnacks box. We have another Dum Dum Pop. Ooh, what flavor is this? That looks gross. Oh, it's caramel apple. Okay. They're honestly just the right amount of like sweet when you're just like, I need something sweet. Not that I'm trying to sell them or anything. Anyway, let's get into the final little package in here. It actually feels like there's a couple things. There's the ArtSnacks sticker. It's purple with like a, I don't know what to call that other than like a 90s print. Then we also have this LePen Flex. It kind of matches my nail. How does this happen? Whatever. I digress. This is the LePen Flex, so I assume it also has a brush nib. Oh, it's so small. What the heck is that? When it said Flex, I assumed it was going to be like a brush pen, but it's so tiny. What are we looking at? That is a brush, but it's so small. Lends the user complete control. I have complete control. What is this color? A Decobrush. I have used the Karin brush pens in the past. I kind of remember like using water. I think they're alcohol. Oh no, it's just water-based. I remember adding water though and like giving it a cool wash effect. But this one has different branding. It says it's the Decobrush, and then it also says that it's metallic. So I'm kind of excited to see the pigment that this guy provides. That might look so pretty with the pink. All right, and then the final item. Ooh, whoa, they put it in extra packaging. Must be schmancy. So this is the Zebra. Listen to this. The Zebra M350 MP in size 0.7 mil. Oh, that's a biggie. I'm used to like 0.5s and 0.3s are pretty common. I really like the cool touch of the metal and the rubber grip and the shiny metallic this thing, as well as the shiny button. Oh, does it have an eraser? Yes, it does. All right, so this are the art supplies. I can tell they definitely want me to do like calligraphy or line work. It might be cool to sketch something out with the pencil. We also need to swatch these to see what kind of colors we're working with, as well as this. I don't know, maybe just work on line work? think that could be cool. So try to create an illustration that doesn't need color necessarily, but has a lot of depth and intricacy maybe to the line art. I'm gonna have to grab some references, but let's first jump in. I guess we'll use this paper. There are 15 sheets. Okay, so here we have the sheet of paper. We have our pencil. Oh, that is not how, that's not how you spell pencil. Okay, I don't really like that eraser. It's too wobbly. I can go to Mount Fuji. But we have a pencil. Ooh, that's actually pretty dark. Feels almost like a bee. You can get nice and dark with that, which might not be what I'm looking for. To use it as like a sketch and then erase and then line art, but we might just like draw really lightly with it so that it's easier to erase. Voila. We'll put that right there. All right, next let's do these guys. Do them in a numerical size. So this is the 0.1. Oh yeah, see how gray that is? It almost looks like pencil. It looks more like pencil than the pencil. The thicker ones might look a little darker. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, it's a very cool, did it say cool gray? It did say cool gray. Well, that's exactly what it looks like, so. Spot on. 0.5. Okay, then we have the chisel, which looks like this. And then the brush, you can see that flexible brush nib in action here. You can see the different line widths you can get. I kind of wish it was a warm gray to go with like our metallic gold, but let's see first. We also have the Kuretake-Zig Bimoji. I don't know. We'll call it the Kuretake brush pen. Ooh, see? Black is more exciting to me than the grays. Ooh, I like that thing. Okay, now we're moving into the two colored ones. So we have this little tiny pink guy. I don't know why that makes me giggle every time I see it. Ooh, it's very pastel. Has almost like a pink highlighter kind of quality. Whoa, that's more flexible than I thought it would be too. It squishes. So then you get like the side of it. Then you can also get like little thin points. Okay, I take back what I said. The pink looks great with the cool grays. Okay, let's check out the metallic red gold, the Karin Decobrush. The tip doesn't draw as well as like the base when I do that. Maybe if I had, oh wait, there's a little bead in there. That might help. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, it's even like a darker color unless it dries later. It's definitely got a shimmer. It's kind of hard to tell. But with the gold, it makes me want to draw like something regal. But then we have the grays. This is an interesting color scheme. We'll put it that way. I think what I'll start with is maybe coming up with some ideas. Could we do like a portrait, like of royalty, you know, something like this? With one of those like not smiling faces because they've been sitting here for too long. Ooh, okay. When I moved this line, it made it look like they were slouching a little bit more. What if we push that? So we like kind of go with the style of like a classic royal portrait, but like make them slouchy and like less formal. Maybe with one leg on top of the other. I feel like it's losing too much of the regalness, but maybe if we put it in a very like 18th century outfit. It's gonna be hard to make someone slouch in a corset though. And then like curtains in the background. Crown. Maybe if we show more of the bottom half, so it's a little less close-up portrait. So like this is where it would, this is what it would look like without our extra personality, let's say. So from there, we want to like slouch. Ooh, do we want to add like a spouse? It might help. I'm thinking if we have a character that's doing the like portrait look, stern, I own this kingdom face, and then I have somebody who's like, you know, I think it'll push the fact that it is supposed to be an ancient portrait kind of vibe, but then one of them is just super slouchy, you know? So like one will have proper posture with that stern face, and the other one's just gonna be like, what the heck? Oh, who's that artist? It's not 18th century, but there was this painter who used to paint portraits for people, and whenever he'd paint himself, he'd do like really weird like selfie faces. Wait, I'm gonna look up some references for the outfit. Maybe have the outfit bunched up a little bit more, less, what would be the word? Put together. So maybe even see a foot. Bigger sleeves, big wide gowns. I think that has a vibe that I'm enjoying. So I'm gonna look up references now to kind of help the idea that I have. Okay, it's becoming very clear to me that I meant like 16th century. Because 18th century looks like a lot of fun too, so I might go with this, but originally I was thinking more like, I think 16th. Well, that would have been 15th century if I'm thinking like the Tudors. I don't know, what was I thinking? But you see how this person has great posture? That's what I want to not do. Well, for one of them I do. Yeah, I'm gonna take like the fashion kind of like this and maybe include plants in the background. Maybe a column, maybe a statue, we'll see. But I'm not like replicating it exactly, I'm just taking little hints of inspiration to kind of bring this tiny thumbnail to the next level. So let's keep going. I guess we have this whole page. I'm gonna go a little bigger this time. time. So we can maybe sneak some details in there. And what we're working on is kind of the layout. I don't mind this, but I'm thinking I might have her lay on, I don't know, it's like the edge of a statue. There's also a bench. So I'm thinking, let me do a little bit of perspective lines here. I just kind of want to know where this would go of our statue. So we have a weird little thing there. Stick a bench, just the corner of a bench maybe. I don't know what a bench looks like. Okay, and then we just put our characters in here. So I want Howdy Girl kind of like draped on this almost. Like I have no interest in having my portrait done right now. I guess maybe I need to move the bench so that she's sitting on it. Curl that back a little more. Maybe if we give her like man spreading. See if I can make it look like the legs are really far apart. It's gonna be difficult because the dress is just gonna kind of do that on its own. Maybe we can kind of illustratively kind of force it. I want this arm to just kind of fall. We'll give her a big something on her neck. She looks excited. Okay, and then we need our like goody two shoes. Does what society says character over here. And tons of bows on the bodice. This dress reminds me so much of Belle. I love it. This will be ruffles. There'll be lots of designs down here and here and here. Maybe a little head tilt. So we've kind of built up from that. I've kind of more settled on like a fashion era. I feel like it does need a little statue here though. I don't know what. Something kind of flowy and Renaissance. Okay, so now I'm looking at it. To fill the space, I would probably crop this to about there. So we kind of lose the bench. But I'd also include more trees. So maybe something that's like that shape and then something that's more like this. And then there'd be a ton of tiny little leaves. And then we should just chuck roses everywhere because that's what it looks like these artists like to do. It looks like it just kind of gets darker up here in this example that I'm using. What do we think? I think it definitely gives off the vibe I want. I think she needs to be a little bigger. A little bigger. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Because what we're going to be doing is focusing on like line art since we're not really going to color it. Would that be too much to use the gold? Should probably keep it to like dress elements maybe. Alright, I'm going to do it one more time and fill in this space just to give myself the best foundation before we move on to the full size. I'm going to try and draw as lightly as possible and pretend I'm kind of like doing the actual thing. I won't probably line art the whole thing, but we'll maybe do like little bits and bobs and do a like color test for like where to put which colors. So I'm going to do the same thing with the ground, just kind of fake a little grid. And then from there we can box out the statue. This is my little point of perspective. There we have that. Cut into that a little bit. Give it more of a pedestal vibe. Got a little pastel. So then from here, we're gonna have our statue. I feel like it can come off the edge because it's not like the focal point, right? So if they were taking a picture and a piece of it didn't make it, they wouldn't think about it, right? I don't know, maybe portraiture is very different than that. I'm gonna keep it very kind of squared off so that it gives it like a chiseled vibe. And then I wanted like a bunch of cloth hanging off of it. Gotta practice my folds. Lord knows I need it. I want it to like wrap around the arm as it goes up. Definitely need some here just to ground it. Otherwise I feel like it would not stay up. There's a little statue. Not too bad, I don't think. The cloth needs help. Maybe we'll just do bigger swoops. Okay, so now we need to throw the main focal point in. So I want one girl. Oh, I could sit her on the ground if I keep it this low. Like she could be kneeling here. I have to like lighten all this back here. I love the way the cheek kind of bulges. Really pushes the weight of the head. Since this feels more important and difficult to draw, I'm gonna draw this one first. Make sure I like the proportions of that before I draw in the second character. No, I think I drew it a little too small to do it kneeling. Because right now she's like the same size as the statue. So if the statue's smaller, I think it'll look more like an object. Draw a bigger head. The shoulders. This would be where the butt is. Legs would come out this way. So it's more kneeling. I want it more like sitting there. Maybe if I lower the shoulder. Yeah, every time I draw it, it looks just a little different. That's why I'm doing it so many times, to kind of iron that out. Didn't quite slouch her enough. Not giving the vibe I want. Kind of lost my pedestal. I'll just do that. If I can get her on the ground, it removes the problem of her looking like she's just sitting in the middle of the air. My brain says to like have her just like flop on this, but then I want her face to still be looking at the camera, well, the painter, because it has to still give off that portrait vibe. Maybe we draw from the bottom up. I want her butt here, knees about there. This would be the torso. That would mean she has to kind of like lean upwards. Ooh, that's the kind of face I wanted. Now I need to make the shoulders match it. What if we do this arm? There'd be so much fabric here. I feel like we're just gonna fill this whole space. See how that looks. Can't really slouch in these outfits. I'm trying. I could put this arm like this. I don't hate that. Let's leave that there. Throw in the other character and see if it suits it. I'll try to keep the head around the same size. Keep the pose on this one really simple since we're going pretty hard on that one. These called like trumpet sleeves or something. You know, the bows. I think I changed up the perspective when I added the people. I don't really want to change up her outfit or anything because I want the pose and the face to do all the talking. Alright, here's some little tweaks that I've made. I'm not entirely sure how to go about the dress. I think just maybe adding in extra pieces like this will make it look more dress-like. This is kind of a lot for me in one drawing. I'm hoping it'll be worth it. So she's standing behind the statue. She's in front of it. And this is like just darker. I don't know what I'll do with that since we're just kind of doing line art. But alright, let me see if there's any like glaring issues that I want to resolve. Try to change up the face. Still like side-eyeing. Pudge of the cheek. And some ears. Oh, I like that so much better. The layout is still a little eh. And it needs to be more centered on the two girls. Alright, I've got a little renewed excitement. Let's go in with this onto a bigger piece of paper. Alright, oh no, now I'm getting the nervies. What I might actually do is give ourselves a little seam allowance. What if we cut it down to 10 and then we have like room on the outside in case I'm like off a little bit and then I can just kind of use one side and then cut it out. Just to kind of give me the best foundation possible. Alright, doesn't have to be perfect. We're not exactly cutting it. So what I think I'll do is just block out the shapes. This kind of like comes off the edge, but there's room for like the skirt here. Body, leaning over, head. Then we have big skirt, body, statue, which I want to move over a little more actually. It's like a plant there, plant there. Now all I have to do is make it look pretty. I'm gonna start with this character. Although that's where my hand will be when I'm working on this. So I guess we should go top leftish here. I'm gonna use much squarer shapes for this. It looks like Blanky from Brave Little Toaster. Maybe we can block some of this with fabric. Got a little statue with a hand now. I'm not sure how to make it look like a statue and not a person. Maybe we could like color it in gray? I want to do line art, so we'll see. Anyway, I guess that means next we should work on this one because then my arm will be up here. Go ahead, do this one at the same time. Make sure they're like the same size. See, we're having that problem again. Where they're off to the right. The statue's too prominent. This arm, let me move this down a little. That face. Just need the body down here. And this dress. This whole thing kind of needs to move. I like its placement better there. Sleeves. She looks too sad. What did I do? The eyebrows are going up, I think. Maybe if I open the eyes a little so the side eye is more prevalent and then lower the eyebrows. Keep the eyebrows low. There's something about that face that I like a lot better. That's kind of an interesting face. It's not the same, but I like it better than what it was before. It's got a lot of personality. Lots of roses and hydrangeas and whatnot. It's looking good as a base. Let's move on to the last character. I'm gonna move her a little over to the left to kind of center the two characters on the page a little bit more. I'm thinking if I can put her head here. Make sure they're about the same size. I really like drawing these dresses. Trying to give this one a slightly more old-fashioned looking face. This one's more my style. Kind of reminds me of Wheels. Put a lot of time into that head. Let's hope the body doesn't need to be moved. Hands down there. I want to really push this like tiny corseted waist by kind of pulling the arms out to kind of create a shape so that there's like a cutout here. Now just tons of frills here. How I usually draw ruffles is kind of just like squiggle it and then connect the lines. And our hand would be here. Just little dainty little hands. So there's kind of a part in the skirt here and there's just a bunch of like floral appliques of some kind. And then the underskirt has kind of something similar here. You can see I kind of like just ruffle it up. I don't know how I describe it. Add in the ruffles. So her dress is a little simpler. Should I try to add in the ruffles here? Kind of just gives it more texture. Should I do something different for this one's bodice? Maybe keep it flatter. Simplify it. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the sketch, but I would like to just kind of try my hand at doing the line art on this dress before I get too overwhelmed by drawing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I'll just do this in sections, I guess. So we just need to lighten this up. So we'll start with the 0.3 since we have one that's larger and one that's smaller, and then we can kind of go from there. I have a bad habit of like never switching once I decap one, so we'll see if that happens. So just take our time with it. Eyebrows, putting some texture into the hair. I'm wondering if we should kind of color in the hair to add depth up there. I colored in the eyebrows, but I always do, so I didn't really think about it before I did it, you know? Just realized how low that ear is. Okay, now this little collar thing is, in my personal opinion, ugly. So I'm trying to decide if I actually want to put it in here. But I also kind of like how you can't see her neck and she's kind of like holding it with her throat and sort of looking up at her like, ew. I don't like that fashion statement either. So for that reason, I might keep it in there. No getting rid of it now. So now that I've done that part of the liner, I'm just going to erase it completely. Make sure there's no pencil hanging out under there. Oop, I didn't do the mouth. Their face looks regal to me. I guess we'll just work our way down the dress. I'm not crazy about the cool gray color. It's so faint. We do have like the brush nib, which does give off a bit of a darker appearance. And like depth to the outside. Ooh, does that look better? I just went around and added depth. Kind of just make it stand out a little bit more. Which helps. So I think I'll keep with that strategy. Now let's move down to the bodice. And we just start adding in these bows. I'm trying not to make them all look exactly the same. Does it look Bowie enough? David Bowie. Portrait I'm using as reference has like a rose here. Kind of like lacy edge. Go ahead and erase that. Go over that with the brush pen. Okay, I'm a little nervous about this area because I've never line arted something like that. So there's like a ribbon on it. And there's one on the other side. Okay, now I just need the fuzziness, the frilliness. Maybe if I compact these. Ooh, that looks way better. Okay, so I'm doing like tighter, coily curlies. It also looks like the edge is like lacy. You kind of like add, I don't know, little dots. I think that works. Maybe for this one, since it's coming inward, like there's a different angle, we'll try and like curl it outwards a little bit more. I don't know, something like that. I kind of rushed this one and I think it shows. I like that side better. I'm gonna go over that with the brush pen now. I'll just go ahead and do the rest of the skirt now. Ruffles, wrinkles in the fabric. There's a lot bigger ones like this almost. Honestly, just doodling my way down here just adds to the intricacy and like makes it look pretty cool, especially from a distance. I feel like my pen's losing its ink a little bit. Just give it a little break and switch over to the brush pen, which also doesn't seem to like to do large areas. And then I need to add more appliques here. I might switch to the larger fine liner for this since the other one's getting a little sticky. Trying a different design for this one. And then there's actually like a ruffle. Pretty insane one. My wrist. I might have to take a break before I finish this, but I do want to finish her. From there, we have these ruffles. I actually have more like a ridge to them like that. Drapey lines. And do the same thing on this one. Voila! Is she done? Wow. Okay, that's exactly kind of how I pictured it when I said I wanted lots of line art. There we have it. I should throw a couple of little roses or something down here. I'm gonna try using the chisel. Just gonna fill in the space down there. Add some more petals. Alright, next up, let's tackle pouty face over here. Try and not erase it all the way. That turned out. I like that. And then I just have to do the rest. The arm. Ooh, that turned out better than that one. I have no idea how to do that hand, but we'll stick with that. I just gotta make sure these sleeves look the same as each other because they're from the same outfit. The sleeves are making it confusing where the arms are. Not sure what I'm looking at here. It's like one's supposed to be further back. Oh well. Alright, let's move on to the dress. Keep adding lots of details. Now these aren't really supposed to be like actual lines in the fabric. They're kind of just guidelines of the folds. I don't really need to connect them. More flowers just sitting there. Let's add in some appliques of some kind. Kind of keep them similar enough. It feels like it's all part of one dress. I might just continue that in this center area. So the last bit of this dress. Add in these little rufflies. I'm gonna have some flowers. Erase that, see what it looks like. See if I need to add anything. Okay, so the characters are done. All we have left is the background. Wait. The background and the statue. I'm gonna do the easy part of the background. It might be easy, but it's gonna be time consuming. And add in like the little bushes back here. I'm gonna start with like the basic shape. Leaves basically. Kind of find the shape of it. And give it like a little stem. to give it some variety in the background. Detail, there's the word. There's something in the background of this little reference I have with circles and pillars. I'm gonna do that too. And I want one back here that you can kind of fill in. And back here there's more leaves. We'll do less to kind of make it seem like it's farther away. Oh, we also need to like do this guy. Needs more detail than just a circle. I'm gonna add little lifesaver rings. Okay, statue. Can you tell I'm putting it off till last? Maybe the reason I'm avoiding it is because it doesn't feel right yet. Let me just try and redraw it. Oh, I forgot this wrist is kind of tired. I think my wrist is like too sore to draw. Kind of just overdrawn. I like how the background is kind of sparse, like the lines don't all connect. They did down here, but not like up here. I wonder if I could do something similar with the statue to make it seem like it's part of the background instead of the characters. So like don't add the thick border around it and like maybe don't connect all of the lines. I'm also gonna not give it pupils to make it look more like a statue, hopefully. I'm gonna make these really square French fry fingers. I might throw like some roses or flowers just kind of sitting there. Okay, I'm much happier with this. Let's go ahead and try my little sparse trick. Wait, I wasn't doing the sparse thing. I literally just said that was what I was gonna do. Oops, I added pupils. We'll dot out those eyes. Don't worry about them. Let's see how that turned out. I'm gonna erase it. I skipped a lot of the flowers. Kind of just decided against them. Ooh, that's not so bad. I think the sparse idea was good. It kind of makes it look like it's lighter. Now, the thing we haven't done is used any of the colors. We've only used cool gray. I think what I'll actually do is take the brush pen and fill this in. To add a little bit of that depth I'm looking for. Little shadows under the dresses. So that's it. We're gonna call that done and then we're gonna throw in colors. So I'm gonna take a picture if anyone wants to color it. Okay, so let's see. We have black. I could do that for like the eyes maybe. Make them pop. I just color in the pupils. What I could do, I could just go around the characters with the black, but then I'd have to go through all the lines. I might just add it in a couple places. A little bit extra contrast. Kinda wish I'd used it from the beginning. I don't really like it layered on top because it's different than the rest of this. Can't say this is adding to this. It looks like it's showing up on camera better though. Oh, I said I was gonna color over those pupils. Better. We could try adding in gold. That came out thicker than I thought it would. I liked it better before I added the black. I will, since I'm already kind of annoyed that I made mistakes. We're just gonna take the pink and we're just gonna add blush. I don't really care if it looks weird. Can I like blend that? It is water-based. So I could add a little water and maybe like blend that out a bit. Wet that, then apply a little bit of this, then blend it back out. Kind of just making their skin look pink. Okay, so clearly the little final touches were not necessary. I'm glad I took the picture. I'm kind of proud of myself for sticking to my guns and actually like finishing the background and everything. So I will have the line art available if you want to color it, you know, before I destroyed it. And we'll see what kind of colors you pick. I feel like this could be really fun to color. I'd have to like print out a new one for myself. I had a lot of fun with this. I'm going to go and rest the old wrist so that hopefully it works again tomorrow. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. A big thank you to ArtSnacks for sending this box my way. And I'll see you guys all next week. I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye!